Hey guys, this is Red Silvers, and welcome back to Let's Play Mega Man 3. Last time I left off with a choice between Magnet Man and Shadow Man, and I predicted that Shadow Man was going to win it. And I just did not take into consideration the magnetic personality of Magnet Man. But through the power of positive thinking, not only did he win but he also started a pun catastrophe. And that was pretty cool. So, the beginning of Magnet Man's stage has these magnet guys that pick you up. And that's going to let me take damage, apparently. Because whenever you're trying to show off, that's when things are going to go horribly wrong. Anyway, one of my favorite pastimes in this starting area is just to hitch a ride and be nice and carefree, roaming through the sky. And you just can't top that. Now, fairly early on here, we have a Proto Man battle. Now, Proto Man isn't really any weaker against the needles. In fact, I believe it's the Hard Knuckle that does the most damage to him. If I can hit him with the damn thing. And the way that the Proto Man fights work in this game is that he has the same amount of health as a Robot Master. And that may be the most useful one-up I have gotten, because I was on my last life until a moment ago. Okay, Proto Man has the same amount of health as one of the Robot Masters. He just doesn't have a life bar. So, it's really just about doing damage to him. And I'm going to point out something that you may not have ever noticed in the background of this stage. And that is that these capsules have this symbol that says RW. And you can't see it unless you turn your head sideways. But what that is the Dr. Wily and Dr. Light team-up logo. Because in the story to this game, they're working together to build a peacekeeping robot named Gamma. And because in Japan there's that weird thing with L's and R's, they put R for Dr. Wright, so it's RW, and that is what that symbol is right there. And that's been hiding in this stage for 20 years, and you may not have ever noticed it, so there you go. Now here is the block puzzle, which is everyone's favorite mechanic in Mega Man games. And there's about 4 of these we have to go through. And they're actually pretty cool about the way they do this, because this is the hardest one right here. And it's mainly hard because it's got extraneous blocks to distract you. But failing does not hurt you. Here they throw in a magnet, but it doesn't actually make the puzzle itself any harder, and it's actually a relatively easy puzzle. The only thing that throws you off there is the timing, because again, extraneous blocks that you don't need. And that magnet does throw off your timing a bit, but again, even when you fail, there's not any actual drama. There's no cost of failure. You just start over. So it's not a very intense jumping situation. Here, you have another magnet, but this time it's over a pit. So now your failure actually has a price, but you didn't even have to go near that magnet. That was just kind of there to throw you off. This is the most dangerous jump, and there you go. It's got that pit. So the lethal traps there are also the easier ones. And that's kind of a nice touch, because they front load it with the difficult one that's not going to have a price. And I just fell off a platform. And of course, you can always whip out the rush jet and bypass that entire thing if you so choose. I'm going to do something a little unorthodox and come down here. And what the hey. I won't need any of these items, but I'll fill them up anyway. And of course, the only downside to doing that is then you have to fight this guy again. And guess what weapon would be really good for fighting them? If you guessed the magnet missile, then good job! So now we're coming up to the Magnet Man fight. So I'll just go ahead and show this off. We're kind of coming full circle here because his weakness is the spark shot. And even with that, I'm doing terribly here, aren't I? Yeah, that was just kind of sad. And maybe somebody was going to tell me, oh yeah, Magnet Man's pattern's really simple. What are you talking about? Anyway, he kind of alternates between his Skyborn firing and this. And he'll just sit there and pump that out if you let him. He's invulnerable when he does that. I know, it's very attractive. But there you go, Magnet Man down to Spark Shot. Because you have the weakness, and it's just this simple thing. But that's not what you guys want to see. You want to see me struggle and fight mano a mano. Now it's interesting, this time around he's going all out with the magnets. Last time he just kind of ignored them. So kind of hanging out in the middle of the room here seems to be the best call. And I may actually have to take down a second E-Tank if I take one more hit here. And there we go. Now here's an interesting thing, is that Magnet Man is also weak against his own weapon, which is actually something you'll see a lot in Mega Man 3. So, everybody knows about that with Metal Man and his Metal Blades in Mega Man 2. And of course, now that I use an E-Tank, I'm not going to take any more damage, because thanks, game. Alright, there. E-Tank justified. But yeah, a lot of the Robot Masters, not just Magnet Man, but a lot of them actually have extra weaknesses against their own weapon. For Magnet Man, we get his magnet missiles. And they're very useful in certain circumstances, because they're just like the ones he fires. They they track down the enemy. So looking at our password, the D2 dot that we have there, that is our dot from our E-Tanks. And the reason I know that is because I know that the F4 dot is going to turn blue when we get our next password. Except that it won't. Anyway, for once I actually can't leave a vote for you guys because Shadow Man's all we have left. There's not really any other options there. And somebody told me that you can go back to the old Robot Master stages. And no, you can't. I'm trying right now. So, nice try, but I'm not falling for that. I'm sitting here trying to go into Hard Man stage and it's not working. Which I suspected was the case. But anyway, until then, This is Red Silvers, and you have yourself a good night.